All aboard! Hey, Luke of All Trades here. I'm going to talk about the Skagway White Pass Railroad. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the White Pass Scenic Railway Tour given by Royal Caribbean. Look for that specific one. It will make a difference. I'll talk about that later. You begin the tour in Skagway, Alaska. Beautiful scenery right from the ship. You get down, and in 2023, it was a little bit different. We'll see what happens in 2024. In 2023, we had to walk through these modified shipping containers and take a little shuttle bus to get to the center of town, which is really just a few minutes walk from the ship normally, but due to the rock slide, we had to go through this extended process. Then you wind up right in front of the White Pass Railway. You can see there was a lot of trains, a lot of people doing this tour. We got there half an hour early and we were like 500th in line, whatever this is. It was pretty crazy. So eventually the line started moving. We got up there. They were checking tickets. You can see a lot of people getting on the train. And this really leads to my first tip is, where do you sit? Well, I really recommend you work your way towards the back of the train and find one of those cars. They tend to be less crowded, and you can switch sides during the ride, which will come in handy for another tip. They'll give you this little pamphlet that has a bunch of information about the train and some stuff about the flora and fauna and some coupons and a really nice map of the actual route that you go on. Lots of great information in here. Shortly after that, you'll start riding the train, and that leads to my second tip, which is on the way up, sit on the left side of the train as facing forward. On the way down, you would want to sit on the right side. So if you're doing this exact excursion, I still recommend sitting on the left side because you'll see all of the points of interest sooner. As the train gets moving, they'll start some voiceover announcements that really explain what you're seeing. It's really actually good, and the speakers work pretty well. I was really surprised. I've been on a lot of tours where you can't really understand what they're saying that well. This one, very clear. I really enjoyed it. It was great to learn more about the Klondike and the history of this entire path that you're taking. Most of the rest of this video is going to be scenery of the views because they're just so amazing, and of course the video doesn't really capture it. Hey, there's one of the buses that's going up. There's a highway that runs parallel to the train tracks most of the way up, and so a lot of the tours actually take you on a bus ride up to the top, and then you get on the train and ride the train back, or vice versa, where you take the train up and then get off and switch to a bus. This specific tour, remember, is different in that you ride the train all the way up and back without getting off at all. You are allowed to exit the train and actually stand on the platforms at the front and the rear of the car that you're on. You cannot switch cars, but you have access to these viewing platforms, and it's just amazing to be looking at all this scenery without even any glass in the way. And again, these videos do not capture it. You really have to go there to see it, but it's just amazing to see all of the mountains and waterfalls and just all of this beautiful scenery, and even the train as it curves around the bend. Every once in a while, a train will come the other direction, and you'll get to enjoy waving at them and filming them while you're filming you. It's kind of a fun little thing. And you can see there's a lot of people going up and down the mountain all day long. There are trusses you cross, there are waterfalls you see, there are tunnels you go through. It's really just an amazing sight. So I'm just going to be quiet for a minute and let you just enjoy the sights of the Alaska Skagway train tour. Eventually, you'll reach Inspiration Point and be told about this, and it's just an amazing view looking all the way down to the ocean, and you can even see your cruise ship if you look carefully and at the right angles and times. Eventually, you'll reach the Canadian border and cross into that. Again, if you've got most of the tours, you end up getting off the train if you rode it up, or getting on the train if you rode the bus up, and you'll take the other way back. If you're riding down the mountains, remember you'll probably get a better view from the right side of the train when you're sitting in it. because you'll be able to look out onto a lot of the scenery. Both sides actually have amazing views. You will enjoy it no matter where you're sitting on the train, but those are just my tips. The sun came out on the way down the mountain on our trip, and it is hard to describe how amazing everything looks when the sun hits it. You're seeing all these colors. It feels impossible to try to put this into words. Step outside on the platform, take some pictures. Your friends will all be amazed and think you're an amazing photographer if you get a sunny day in Alaska, because nothing beats it. As you finish up your train ride, the person giving the talk the whole time will come back and say hello to people. It's kind of nice that you get to actually see the person who you were hearing the whole time. Then you'll get off the train and you'll be in the middle of Skagway. There are actually two options: that you can get off in the middle of Skagway or take it back to the starting point. Most people opt to get off in Skagway because they want to walk around. But if it's getting towards the end of the day or you've already walked around the town, you might take it to the stop next to the cruise port. We really enjoyed our trip to Skagway. I've got lots of other videos about Alaska. Be sure to check those out. Check out some other videos on my channel. Like and subscribe, all the usual things. And remember, stay curious and have a good one.